How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about CEI Camber Energy. What is very interesting about this play, I got a question about it last night, and I was saying, you know what, I am not the most bullish on this play unless it's able to reach back to the 21-day EMA around $1.28 or $1.29. And inside of the Discord early parts in the morning when I saw that it had some strength, I was telling everyone, if you're looking to get into this play, look out for the morning dip. It should probably get around $1.28, but it ended up getting to $1.27. So I was off by like 1 cent. But what I'm trying to say is having a strategy is key. And if you want to join us, then of course you can find that link in the description for the Discord. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to see what it looks like in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. You want to have a strategy. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information and as well as the recent institutional ownership. We know for the short interest, it could have an impact on the way the stock performs, and this is why we cover it. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what is the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the institutional side and as well as on the retail side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for CEI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $1.44, being up 29.73%. On the low, it tested $1.27, and then on the high, testing $1.51. When taking a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 276.744 million shares, and for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 61.013 million shares. So when you get this above average volume coming into Camber, you can look forward to seeing strong moves like these. Now, when we take a look at our daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 53.60. And then when we take a look at the moving averages here on our chart, you can see we are below the 50-day, but we do have strength above the 21-day EMA as well as the 100-day and as well as for the 200-day. So the first thing that I want you guys to take notice of, we had a very strong day, but be aware, we do have a gap here starting from 116 all the way up here to around 128. So if you are going to be inside of this play, I want to make sure you are fully aware of that. So now let's continue. So as far as for support on the day, we tested at 127. I was telling everyone inside of the Discord, we want to see $1.28 actually hold up and then ride that move to the upside. And that's exactly what we got, reaching a high of $1.51. So what you want to see going into tomorrow, if Camber is able to actually pass this level, then I'm going to be looking forward to a move going all the way here to the 50-day around $1.65. This will be a clear area of resistance, so that is one thing to be aware of. I wouldn't be shocked if we end up having that resistance even around $1.60. So with that in mind, I want to make sure that you guys have a strategy in regards to knowing what your entry is going to be and as well as your exit. So paying attention to support and looking at what could happen going into tomorrow. A morning dip may present itself maybe around 130 or even back to that 127 range, but just make sure that you're fully aware of this gap that needs to be filled, because you guys know on this channel most gaps get filled. All right, so let's see how CEI performs going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Camber Energy. Scrolling down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at what's been going down, we have November 16th as the most recent date. We have Cetera Advisors Network LLC that purchased just under 19,000 shares. We also have National Asset Management Inc. that purchased 40,000 shares. We also have Charles Schwab Investment Management Inc. that purchased just over 54,000 shares. And we also have Summit Trail Advisors LLC that purchased 34,620 shares. And we have a closed position from Cap Trust Financial Advisors. advisors. If we scroll down a little bit further down on the page, we also have some notable names like Morgan Stanley that put in a filing for November the 15th, which was just the day before, and you can see they purchased just over 51,000 shares. We also have Bridgeway Capital Management and as well as HRT Financial LP purchasing over 100,000 and as well as just over 138,000. So now let's take a look at the short interest. The dark pool short volume ratio is at 25.68%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 5.7 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 0, updated 18 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is not available. And when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, you can see for the close of the 15th, it was at 27.21, and then for the close of the 16th, which was yesterday, being at 25.68. So taking these numbers into consideration, CEI still continues to have short squeeze potential. The criteria that we normally look for is 21% or higher. But one thing that is very noticeable though, as far as for the overall market sentiment, it has gotten a lot more positive for this stock because it used to be a lot higher in the past. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for CEI. So we can see here on the inflow, it was 66.08, and then on the outflow, it was 56.73. So we ended up having an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown even further, on the large, it was 19.99. On the medium, it was 35.56. And then on the small, it was 10.53. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 15.95. On the medium, it was 32.83. And then on the small, it was 7.95. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for today, November the 17th, it was at 4,041.67. And what's very interesting, you can see it had inflows 4 times out of the past 5 trading weeks. So definitely this looks bullish overall in general, and someone probably did see that a move was coming up for this play. Now, when we take a look at the breakdown even further, you can see on the small, we had more buying than we had selling, and this tends to represent the retail side. And then when we take a look at the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And of course, when we took a look at the large, we had more buying than we had selling. So definitely looking really good. Now, when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 111.58%. So what this tells me right away, there are a lot of traders who are going in and out of this play. So if you are in it, I want to make sure that you have a strategy. You were able to take advantage of those support areas and also think about, hey, where you want to start taking profits. I am not saying that this run will not continue, but I just want to make sure you guys are on the winning side of your trades. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for CEI Camber Energy, it was great to see that it saw a lot of momentum on the day. And if you were able to actually make some profits off of it, please let me know inside of the comment section. When we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does have short squeeze potential. Even though the short interest is not as high as other plays that we cover on this channel, you still want to keep this on your watch list. And this is part of the reason why I say, you know what, as far as this run overall in general, I don't think it's finished yet. We had a lot of volume. We haven't seen that kind of volume inside of Camber for quite some time. So if we have a continuation of this, of course, I want to see us get past that $1.50 level. It was an area of resistance on the day, and I feel like if we can test it again and that volume is there, we can easily get up to around $1.60. I talked about this in the technicals as well. And another point that I want to bring up is news that came out today for Camber, which kind of helped with the overall momentum. So we see ESG Clean Energy responds to Carisdale Capital report on Camber Energy. ESG Clean Energy LLC, developers of net zero carbon footprints and clean energy solutions for distributed power generation, released a statement today in response to a report issued by Carisdale Capital about Camber Energy and Viking Energy Group that ESG believes contains misleading and inaccurate information about ESG. So when you address these short reports, it does bring a lot lot of confidence back into this stock. A lot of people start saying, oh, everything looking good, I'm going to start loading up on shares. And no surprises there, because when we went on Fintel taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we have seen that institutions have been loading up on shares. And like I covered in regards to the short interest, as far as market sentiment has become a lot more positive for Camber. So let's see if this run can continue, because the way how it was looking today for Camber, it's going to be very interesting going into tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.